Today's sail is a day of sailing that I did back in early June, and I've motored out of the Marina Cove and turned off the motor, raised it up, and then, as I often do, I am raising my head sail, and then I'm going to turn the boat onto a beam reach. And the Precision 18 is very stable on head sail only on a beam reach. And so then I sheet out the mainsail and prepare to raise the main, just slowly sailing forward on a beam reach. And this is really my preferred way of raising and taking down the sails, is with the motor up and just, sailing on the head sail. So I see that the first slug is stuck on the mast gate, so I break that free and then go ahead and raise the main. And so with the main sheeted out like this, it's really easy to raise the sails. This is also my first day sailing with my new sails from Point Sails. And so I get the sail up, and then I immediately tack the boat and then pull the halyard real tight. And these sails are made of 6-ounce Dacron cloth, so they're a little heavier than my OEM sails that came with the boat because they were 5-ounce cloth. And so, raising them, it does take a little effort. You can feel that extra weight, and you can hear how crispy they are. And then get onto a port tack. And I tend, because it's very gusty where I sail, and because my boat has a really high sail area to displacement ratio, I tend to set up my boat always for heavy weather sailing, high wind sailing. So, with the outhaul very tight and with the main halyard really, really hard on. And so now I am sailing. Now you can see that I still have my jiffy reef line kind of hanging down there from the boom, so I need to fix that. Here I'm putting some bend in the mast by tightening my backstay adjuster. So at this point I feel like the boat is dialed in pretty good. It's well balanced. I've got neutral helm, the tiller's on center line, and it's moving really good. So right now I'm heading back into the Marina Cove, and you can see the no wake buoys right there on my port side. And so I'm just looking for an opportunity to tack the boat. So right there I tightened down the backstay a little more, but not crazy tight. And so I'm looking for an opportunity to tack the boat so that I can tie up that loose jiffy reef line. So I go ahead and tack the boat. So here I'm just trying to get the boat to sail in a straight line, just get it nice and balanced. So I've got the tiller tied off with my bungee, and then I take the opportunity to go ahead and just clean up that excess jiffy reef line. And you can see the boat is starting to bear away a little bit. So I get back on the tiller. So you can see my topping lift is tangled up on the backstay, and one of the things that I noticed is that my old sails, the pockets were very flush with the sail for the battens. But on this sail, the batten pockets have like Velcro straps, and so my topping lift gets caught on those Velcro straps. And so I put it really, really loose, hoping that it would, basically just be kind of blown away from the leech of the sail, but it still gets tangled once in a while. So here I reach up to pull that topping lift free, and now it's flowing nicely behind the leech. So the boat's moving really nice here. And so here you can see there's a fisherman coming up on my starboard side. And, what I try to do is, one, stay away from other boats, but two, is just maintain my course and try and be kind of predictable so they know where, what my intent is and where I'm trying to go. But for some reason, this guy, I don't know, just kind of weird. So he keeps coming in on me from my starboard side. And then you'll see, as we get closer here, he's going to power down. So right here you see he basically shuts off his engine right in front of me almost. And now he's just slowly drifting forward. And I have no idea why he would stop his boat right there. Like, that just makes no sense to me. And, typically with the fishermen, a lot of the fishermen on my lake have long lines behind their boats. And so, my preference is to go in front of them because that way I don't tangle up their lines with my centerboard. But I don't know, for some reason, they like to get in front of me, and then, I end up going behind them. And, yeah, it just happens sometimes. So, anyway, so this guy, I basically head up, and then this guy turns and runs a parallel course with me. Very annoying. Got the whole lake. Very few boats on the lake. But yeah, this guy for some reason is just staying near me. So eventually I get away from him. So really beautiful day on the lake. It's about like between 1 and 2 o'clock at this point, and perfect conditions, just gorgeous. So the winds on this day, steady state winds were like 10 to 11 miles an hour, and then the gusts were between like 15 and 16. So here I'm heading up the lake to the north and moving really, really well. And one thing I noticed immediately with these sails, because, my old sails, they weren't very old, but they were a little baggy. And so these sails, nice and crisp, very, very flat. And right away I noticed that these sails, I can handle a lot more wind with full mainsail than I could in my old sails. There's a lot less heeling. I can get these sails really, really flat. And so that's been nice. Yeah, just a beautiful view of the lake here. I mean, you can't beat it. It's just I love sailing here. It's a beautiful place to sail. So as usual, the winds, are very variable. Little lulls come in, and then you'll get these like waves of pretty good gusts coming through. And so, it's just how it is in the mountains. And, like I said, I usually set up my sails for, to be very flat and for higher winds. And that way when the gusts come through, I'm not trying to make adjustments, while the boat's heeling real bad. So here I head up a little bit. So now I'm very close hauled. And the boat's moving good. And yeah, just enjoying the lake. Got all my telltales flying. So here I check for traffic and then go ahead and make a tack. And all I'm doing is I'm tacking around a little point that sticks out into the lake there on the starboard side. And so I get on a starboard tack, and then in a minute I'm going to go ahead and do another tack and get back on a port tack. So my topping lift is tangled up again on the backstay, but it's not doing anything harmful, so. A speedboat crosses my bow, which there's not a lot of fast-moving boats at my lake. Usually it's just fishermen trawling around. So, yeah. So I do another tack. You can see that peninsula sticking out, big rock. So I've cleared the point, and I'm heading into the Marina Cove. And on my lake, the marina is located basically on the center of the lake, so it's 5 miles long, and the marina is right in the middle of the length of the lake on the eastern shore. And so, I like to kind of drop into the Marina Cove once in a while and then just sail back out. So here you can see the no wake buoys. And the Marina Cove, because it has a little more protection, it's a nice place to sometimes get out of the wind and take a little break when it's really, really windy. So there you can see the marina right there. It's very small, only 12 slips, and then one of the campgrounds. And then there's a little shed where the park rangers keep their patrol boat. So very impressed with the new sails. They're easy to trim, they're easy to get nice and flat. The boat seems a lot faster and with less heeling, and I can sail in a little bit more wind than I could with my old sails. And I got, the 2 reef points I wanted, the full top batten, beautiful colors. I mean, they look great. And I think with the heavier 6-ounce Dacron, they're going to be a little more durable and better for the heavy wind that I usually deal with. So a little lull comes in. Man, what a nice place to sail. I really love this lake. I really do. And you can see there's still plenty of snow in June on the mountains. And so the lake's at 8,600 feet. And yeah, those mountains are quite a bit higher. All right, well, as always, hope you enjoyed it, and thanks for watching.